Hello and welcome to this course on introductory ecology. Today, we shall be taking lesson 1 on concepts and definition of ecosystem. What are the learning outcomes? At the end of this class, you will be able to define an ecosystem. You should be able to differentiate between abiotic and abiotic factors in an ecosystem. And you will be able to explain the interconnectedness of living and non-living components of the ecosystem. Let's go through so that you have an understanding of what ecosystems are. So the definition. Ecosystems are complex systems where living organisms interact with each other and with their physical environment. They can be as small as a pond or as large as a forest, and they can exist in various environments such as the desert, in oceans, and grasslands. Are living organisms interconnected with their environment? Of course, ecosystems are characterized by the interconnections between living organisms and their physical environments. Organisms rely on each other and also on their environment for resources like food, shelter, and water that they require for sustenance. And changes in one part of an ecosystem can have a multiplier effect or a ripple effect through the entire ecosystem. So let's look at the components of an ecosystem. The components are likely divided into abiotic and biotic factors. The biotic factors include the producers, the consumers, and the composers. It's good for us to compare biotic and abiotic factors. Biotic factors are living components of the ecosystem, while abiotic factors are non-living components of an ecosystem. Biotic factors interact with each other and also with their environment, while abiotic factors affect the survival and distribution of biotic factors because they include sunlight, temperature, water, soil, and air. While biotic factors include plants, animals, microorganisms. What of producers and consumers? Let's look at the differences between producers and consumers. Producers are also known as autotrophs, and they are organisms that produce their own food, while consumers, also known as heterotrophs, are organisms that obtain energy by consuming other organisms. So they feed on other organisms. Producers form the base of the food chain and they provide energy for other organisms, while consumers play a crucial role in energy transfer and nutrient cycling within the ecosystem. Producers convert sunlight and inorganic substances into energy through photosynthesis and chemosynthesis, while consumers can be classified as herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores, that means they feed on vegetations. Carnivores, they feed on flesh. And omnivores, they feed on several types of organisms. What of decomposers? Decomposers are organisms that break down dead organic matter and they recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. Decomposers are vital in nutrient cycling and the decomposition process, and they include bacteria, detritivores, and fungi. What of the ecosystems? What are the different types of ecosystems that we have? We have the natural ecosystem, which can be classified as the terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. And then we have the human-made or the artificial ecosystem. Let's look a bit closely into these different types of ecosystems. Terrestrial ecosystems are found on land. They comprise various habitats such as forests, grasslands, deserts, and tundra. Terrestrial ecosystems support a wide range of plant and animal species, and these species are adapted to different climates and conditions of the environment. Examples include the African savanna and the Amazon rainforest. Aquatic ecosystems, let's look at first the freshwater aquatic ecosystems. They are found in water bodies such as lakes, rivers, and wetlands. They support diverse aquatic plants and animals like fishes, amphibians, and some water-dwelling insects. And example of the freshwater aquatic ecosystems include the Great Barrier Reef and the Everglades. What of the marine aquatic ecosystems? They are found in oceans and seas, and they cover about 70% of the Earth's surface. They support a wide array of marine life, including fishes and whales, and also plankton. An example includes the Antarctic Ocean. We need to look at the importance of ecosystems. I'm going to run you through quickly some importance. These include the role of the ecosystem in sustaining the biodiversity, in nutrient cycling, and the impact of human activities on the ecosystems. So let's first consider biodiversity. Ecosystems are crucial for maintaining biodiversity because they provide habitats for different types of plants and animal species. They also support the interdependence of different organisms. Therefore, they contribute to the overall health and also the balance of stability of the ecosystem. How does energy flow through the ecosystem? Energy is captured from sunlight by producers, and then it flows through the ecosystem in one-way direction. Producers transfer the energy to herbivores. Herbivores, in turn, transfer it to carnivores as these carnivores feed on them. And then when all the categories of plants and animals die, the decomposers break down dead organic matter to release nutrients back into the ecosystem or into the environment. And then, in cycling of nutrients in an ecosystem, the ecosystem is important and vital for this process because nutrient cycling helps to maintain the fertility of soil, and it also supports plant growth and sustains the overall functioning of the ecosystem. And then let's look at the impact of human activities on the ecosystem. Human activities such as deforestation, pollution, activities like mining, habitat destruction, they have significant impact on the ecosystem, and they disrupt the delicate balance of the system. This results in loss of the biodiversity, and then the habitat are degraded, resulting in disruption of ecosystem services. This brings us to the end of today's class. For further reading, you can check this reference, the concept and definition of ecosystem, as I have provided for you. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next class. But before we go, can you quickly think back and give me two differences between producers and consumers? See you next class with that response. Thank you.